know it sucks. It really does. But I have nothing else to say. It sucks. It sucks. Hey everybody, it's Corey. Welcome back to my channel. So as of late, I have been going on a little journey, a financial journey, and I thought that it really might be helpful for you guys to see what I've been doing. You know, I am in my early, oh my god, I'm in my mid-20s. And I am starting to get my life together, or at least trying to get my life together. It doesn't always pan out that way. But I figured a lot of people are in the same boat. I could show you guys some tips, some tricks, some information just about financial health. Alright, so before we jump in this video, we're going to do our little shameless plug. So don't forget to like this video, send me a comment down below, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon so you get the notification every single time I post. And please, please, please follow me on Instagram. Please. So let's jump in. The first step in getting your financial life in order is definitely track everything you are doing. Every little detail. How much you're making, when you're making it, what hours you're working, what you are spending your stupid money on that you shouldn't be spending it on. I see you. Where all your money is going and kind of what goals that you want to set for yourself. What do you want? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to buy a new car? Do you want to buy that new laptop, buy a new camera so you get better quality on YouTube? What do you want? It is super duper important that you track and you see where all your money is going and what bills you're paying, what you can live without, and all that stuff. But it is also super important to keep track because you need to stick to a budget. And I know that word is scary because it sounds like you're going to be limiting yourself. And of course, when you're low on money, you need to limit yourself. You can't go out for every drink. You can't be going to get your eyelashes done every 2 weeks, or your nails every 2 weeks, or your hair cut and colored every however long it takes. I don't know. I've never got my hair done. When you do a budget and you figure out how much you're making a month, especially if you have a steady paycheck, it is so easy to see where you are spending that stupid money and where it could be going to instead. You know, getting your nails done every week makes you feel really good in the moment, but how much better would it feel to have your own apartment, to have your own car, to buy your dream house, to be out of debt? Like, those are long-term goals that you need to think about, and I think it gets hard because a lot of us are so focused on this instantaneous gratification that we can't see things for the bigger picture, and ultimately it's gonna kind of screw us over a little bit. It's scary, and honestly, I've gotten a lot of my tips from like Pinterest and just looking around on the internet and Googling budgets because I, for the life of me, do not like feeling restricted, and it's been really hard for me to stick to one. But I have been working with, it's called the 50-30-20 budget, right? So like 50% of my budget for the month goes to bills that I am paying, like my car insurance, my car payment, all that kind of stuff. That's where 50% of my income should be going. 20% should be going to savings. I should not be touching that money. I should be saving up for whatever I'm trying to do, make sure that I don't hit a hole where I can't get out of because I have no safety net. And then the other 30% should be your play money for whatever you want to do. If you want to go buy new makeup, if you want to eat out a couple times, that's where that money should be going. Let's do some math real quick. So let's say that you make $1,000 a month. Alright, I know, that's low, but for the sake of easy numbers, you make $1,000 a month. So $500 should be going to your bills. Like, your bill should not be more than half of your income, otherwise you're in a really bad situation. $300 should be your play money, what you can spend on, you know, hair and nails and going out to eat and new clothes and whatever that you feel is a necessity that isn't a bill. and then that $200 left over should be going into savings. It is super important to establish what are needs versus wants. Needs are things that you have to pay every month, like your car insurance, your credit card bills, your rent, all of that stuff that you need to pay or you will be in deep doo-doo. Deep doo-doo. The things that you want are things like gym memberships and Netflix and Etsy subscriptions and getting your nails done, getting your eyelash extensions, getting a wax. Anything like that is a want. It is not a need. You do not need to go every 6 weeks to get a wax. I know, it makes your life easier. I know. But it is not a necessity. You can live without it. And I'm not saying that you have to live without all of these things. I still pamper myself and I still treat myself to make myself feel good. But at the end of the day, I know that I can't afford to do all of these crazy things, so I'm not even going to bother trying to afford to live a lifestyle like that. Ultimately, it is more important to me to start my future since I am now in my mid-20s, as I learned at the beginning of this video. So I feel like it's time to start getting everything together. And I know that it's not really easy to get your life together. Personally, I think the way my life is going, I am engaged, I am looking to get married in a couple years, and that's kind of where my future is going, and I want to be able to buy a house and buy a new car because mine is kind of shitting the bed. But the first step in any of this is going to be saving money for an emergency fund. I know that sounds stupid because you might be in all this crushing debt and you need to pay that all off real fast before you can buy your house, buy your car, anything to do with credit. But you need that nest egg. Just like $1,000. Just $1,000. Put it in your savings account so that when your tire goes flat and you need to buy new tires, or I don't know, your car breaks down and you have no money, you will have that nest egg. So you're not up Schitt's Creek without a paddle when stuff goes wrong. The way that I've been saving money, I've been doing it for probably a couple weeks now. For all of you that don't know, I do work in the service industry, and what I do is my take-home money, whatever I earn every shift, I take 20% of that and I put it away and I don't touch it. Because in the grand scheme of things, 20% isn't a lot of money. For every $100 you make, it's 20 bucks. It's really not that much money, and it's so easy to forget about it. And I've been putting that in my savings account, and once I hit $1,000, then we're gonna turn things to another outlet. And pretty much like any other millennial, we have all these things that we want to buy, all these trips we want to go on, you know, and we end up in all of this crushing debt, whether it is student loans or credit card debt. But you got to take it one step at a time. There are a couple different ways that you can attack credit card debt. I think the easiest way for me, at least, is the snowball effect. And what the snowball effect is you take the smallest amount of debt that you have and you pay that off, and then you keep going up the ladder until you get to the biggest amount of debt. And it breaks it into sizable chunks so you can feel like you're paying off this debt. But the most important thing about this is do not rack up debt. Alright? I understand that it is hard and you want to go out and you want to do things and you want to get drinks with your friends and you want to go to concerts and go on trips, but you need to practice some self-control in order to get out of debt. Alright? It is very hard, especially with all these credit cards with all these rewards. I have 2 credit cards that have cashback rewards, and it always makes me feel real good, but you're spending money to make back 2% of what you just spent. So unless you're spending it on like groceries or gas, like necessities, cut it out. Everybody has expenses, and you kind of got to figure out what's important to you, what you can cut back on. Like, I cut back on subscription boxes. I don't need them. They're nice to have, but it's not a necessity for me. I cut down my Netflix account because I was paying $16 for no reason, but I'm not going to get rid of Netflix because we don't have cable. So it's all about cutting back and figuring out what's important to you, and it really is about practicing self-discipline, unfortunately, and it sucks. It really does. Like, I haven't been out with my friends in God knows how long because I can't afford it, unfortunately. But it'll all be worth it when you get that new car, when you get that new house, when you get that new camera, so your quality is great. Alright? It's worth it. So what I do is I track it all in a bullet journal. That way I can get my creative juices flowing. And I will kind of go through this bullet journal and show you. So this is kind of a look at my bullet journal that I do. I'm going to show you my setup for the month of September. So right here I have my September goals. These are all the things that I want to be able to accomplish in the month of September, such as paying off $200 to my credit card debt, saving $100, paying off different credit cards, raising my credit score, anything financially that I want to get done in the future. So right on these pages over here, we have my budget. So we have estimated income that I usually take my last month's income from, and I'll put my actual income. And then I have my bills, all the different bills that I pay per month. And this column is for when they're due, right here. And then this is for how much they are, the total amount of bills, how much I start with savings, how much I end, how much I start with debt, how much I end, just to kind of really hone in on where every single one of my dollars is going. So this page over here is my debt tracker, and what I do is I list all my credit cards, their limit, what they start at the month, what they end at, and the percentage, because the percentage is super duper important to everything. Your credit limit, your credit grade, your credit score, every single thing relies on that percentage because you do not want it to be more than 30%. And then down the bottom right here, I have highlights for my number 1 priority that I want to pay off this month, and number 2 if I finish number 1, and then of course my credit score so I can keep track of my credit score. So then, as I told you, I work in the service industry, so I do have a tracker for how much I'm making every day, and it has the date. The second column is the day of the week, the third column is how much I made, and the fourth column will be the hours I worked, so I can see roughly what I'm making per hour that I'm working every month. So I love this next page so much. These are my savings goals. I do it this way just so I can feel accomplished, like I'm ticking off goals and I can actually see my progress. So I have money in every box. It goes up to 98 because unfortunately I couldn't fit 100, but every single time I save $1 towards my savings that I want to do, which right now would be a nest egg. Next couple of months it might be a new car or saving up for an apartment or what have you, but I color in the boxes. That way I can see my progress and see how far I've come every single month. And then the last page of every month is the credit card that I'm looking to pay off this month, or the chunk of the credit card that I'm looking to pay off, and I do it by tens. That way I can see how much progress I've made and see how far I'm coming with my credit card debt. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found anything I said relatively helpful. If you have any questions or anything like that about this, please, please, please let me know. If you want me to make another financial video, if you want me to track where my money is going for a day or something like that, you definitely can let me know in the comments. And I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next time.